Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission here, as always, is to take the sources you've sent us, no matter how esoteric or challenging, and really pull out the operational knowledge.
And today we are plunging into a subject that, well, it fundamentally asks you to reconsider just about everything you believe about reality.
Right. It's the idea that the universe isn't this passive backdrop to our lives.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
an active participant, it's listening, it's responding, and it's mirroring back the energy that you carry.
It's a huge idea, and the sources we looked at suggest this isn't just philosophy.
No, not at all. They frame it as physics.
Yeah.
We're moving past the idea of communicating with the cosmos through, like, spoken prayers or rigid wishes.
Going deeper.
Much deeper. We're looking at this foundational claim that all communication happens through frequency and that the whole universe operates on this elegant energy-based syntax.
Okay, so to ground this in something a bit more tangible, let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about matter.
Good place to start.
Because our sources pull from concepts in quantum physics to kind of get at this idea. If you zoom way, way in past what our eyes see as solid, you hit the subatomic realm.
And down there, things get weird. The material world is chaotic.
Particles are just flickering in and out of existence, and their behavior seems to be influenced by the very act of us observing them.
And that's the pivot point. That is everything. If matter isn't really solid, if it's all just energy that's been condensed and is vibrating at a certain rate.
Then the universe is just a huge field of interconnected frequencies.
Precisely. And that instability, that flicker at the subatomic level, it suggests that reality isn't fixed. It's changeable. It's mutable.
So our deep dive today is all about unpacking how our internal state, our thoughts, our emotions, how that acts as a constant energetic broadcast that, I guess, exploits that mutability.
And literally shapes the reality we experience day to day.
Okay, a constant broadcast. Let's unpack that. This brings us to section 1.
Yeah.
What is the signal? What is a thought in this model? Is it just mental noise?
It's absolutely not noise. It's an active signal. Think of your mind as a really sophisticated radio transmitter.
Oh?
Every single thought you generate creates a vibration, a unique waveform of energy. So if you think 100 times about a specific job or a specific fear,
You're not just daydreaming.
you're not just musing. No.
Yeah.
You are sending out a very specific frequency, a broadcast, into the field. These thoughts are the information packets.
But hold on, if everyone is thinking all the time, shouldn't we just be surrounded by complete chaos? What makes one thought a real broadcast and another one just fleeting?
That's the critical piece of the puzzle, and it brings us to the role of emotions.
The amplifier.
The amplifier. Emotions are quite literally energy in motion. Emotion. A thought is the blueprint, sure, but the emotion is the power source. It determines the strength of the signal, its reach.
So I could have a clear thought like, I want to be financially stable.
Right. But if the underlying emotion you feel all day long is this persistent anxiety about paying your bills,
Yeah.
the universe doesn't hear your words.
It doesn't hear stable.
It hears, or rather it feels, the overwhelming frequency of the anxiety.
So the signal of lack just completely drowns out the blueprint of desire. That's where the power lies.
It overwhelms it. A thought that's infused with intense confidence or, deep embodied feeling, it becomes exponentially more powerful.
And that's what makes a deeply felt desire manifest faster than some casual, lukewarm wish.
Exactly. We are broadcasting frequency, not words. You could stand in front of a mirror and chant an affirmation 1,000 times. But if that dominant feeling in your body, the knot in your stomach, is fear of scarcity,
Your true broadcast is scarcity.
and the universe, which is just an impartial mirror, it simply reflects that consistent energetic state right back at you.
That makes the whole analogy so visceral. It forces you to ask yourself, if I'm broadcasting 24/7,
Yeah.
what is the loudest, most consistent frequency I'm putting out there today?
Is it lack or is it potential?
And that powerful question, that leads us directly into the how-to, the solution, which is the heart of section 2. Achieving what the sources call vibrational congruence. Vibrational congruence.
We have to shift our focus entirely. Manifestation in this model is not about forcing or begging or doing complicated rituals.
It's about alignment.
It is purely about achieving alignment, becoming the energetic match for what you desire.
Now, this is where I find it gets tricky, practically speaking. If I desire wealth, I can't just go around pretending I'm rich. How do I genuinely embody the frequency of success if my bank account says otherwise?
And that is the key distinction. You're not trying to pretend you have the money. That's not it.
Okay.
You are embodying the feeling associated with having it. The clarity, the confidence, the peace, the The feeling of abundance.
Ah, I see. So if you want love, you don't beg for a partner.
You embody the frequency of love first. Self-respect, joy, emotional fulfillment. Congruence means aligning your internal broadcast with what you want to receive.
And the very first step toward any kind of alignment has to be awareness. You can't steer the ship if you don't know where it is.
Precisely. Awareness is the diagnostic tool. You have to observe your inner state, and rigorously. We tend to focus so much on our thoughts, but the sources say your feelings are the most honest indicator,
They're more immediate.
the most immediate honest indicator of your true vibrational state. Are you walking around feeling mostly hopeful or anxious, grateful, resentful? Your body is giving you constant feedback.
So if I stop and I check in with myself and I realize my current state is, say, anxiety over a deadline, how do I then move to step 2, the conscious recalibration, without it feeling fake? Without feeling like I'm just lying to myself?
That's where the conscious choice comes in. Conscious recalibration is the action plan. It's about choosing thoughts, behaviors, and practices that actively lift your vibration right now.
And the sources are pretty clear on the best way to do that.
They are. The gold standard, the highest frequency state you can access, is gratitude.
We hear about gratitude journals all the time, but it can feel, I don't know, a bit performative. If I'm anxious, how does writing down 3 things I'm thankful for really change my frequency?
It's about the mechanism behind it. True gratitude, the kind that actually changes your energetic field, isn't just saying thank you.
It's feeling it.
It's truly feeling the appreciation. The insight here is that gratitude is a kind of future-focused calculation. It shifts your expectation from lack to abundance.
How so?
When you genuinely focus on what you already have, your energetic expectation flips from I need this to I have enough and more is on the way. It is physically impossible to feel deep anxiety and genuine appreciation at the same time.
They can't coexist.
One cancels the other out.
That makes the whole process feel much more actionable. You're leveraging your body's state to override a fearful mind. What are some other practices that help with this?
We're looking for anything that creates coherence in your system. So acts of kindness, which pull you out of self-focus. Forgiveness, which releases all that energetic debt. Mindfulness, creativity.
These are all high-frequency practices.
They are. But you can't ignore the physical baseline. The sources are very clear on this. Movement, nourishing food, time in nature, quality sleep. These are non-negotiable.
Your physical foundation dictates your energetic capability.
It really does.
And while we're working on our internal state, we have to talk about the external stuff, the things constantly trying to pull that baseline down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Energy is finite. You have to protect it like a valuable resource.
So the sources use a model, let's call it the PMP system, to talk about this.
PMP, it stands for the people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, and the places you frequent. These 3 things are constantly interacting with your personal frequency.
We've all had that friend, the one who leaves you feeling completely drained after you talk to them, the emotional vampire.
And the sources say that's not just a metaphor, it's an energetic reality. Frequencies are literally being exchanged. Low-frequency environments, toxic relationships, news cycles saturated with fear and criticism, chaotic or messy living spaces, they will require so much more of your energy just to maintain a neutral state.
So if you're serious about congruence, you have to be a curator.
You have to curate your PMP system. You have to choose environments and relationships that are already vibrating at a supportive level.
Yeah.
Because trying to manifest peace in the middle of an energetic war zone,
It's pretty much impossible.
it's setting yourself up to fail.
That gives us a really fantastic practical guide for recalibration. But now we have to shift gears a little into what is probably the most challenging part of this whole concept.
I know where you're going.
Section 3, the idea of co-creation. The statement, you are the co-creator of your own reality, can feel cruel or just deeply unfair when you're talking about things like systemic poverty or severe illness or betrayal.
This is where it gets really tricky, and it requires a lot of nuance. The sources are very, very clear. This is not about moral blame.
It's not your fault.
It's not about fault. It is purely about vibrational cause and effect. It's acknowledging that the human mind doesn't create, based on your logical, conscious intentions, the things you say you want. It creates based on emotional repetition.
So the universe isn't manifesting my logical wish for a better job.
No.
It's manifesting the deep, repetitive feeling that I'm unworthy of success, which I might have been carrying around since I was a kid.
Precisely that. The thought is the initial trigger, yes, But the consistent vibration is the ultimate command. The repetition of a deep-seated fear or a belief that you hold as truth is a vastly stronger broadcast command than the occasional logical wish for the opposite.
So we manifest what we hold as our deepest truth, day in and day out.
And this isn't a quick fix. It's the result of cumulative energetic programming over years, maybe decades.
That reframes the entire idea of ownership, though. And the good news in this model is that if reality is being shaped by my inner state, then when I change that inner state, reality has to respond.
Absolutely. The material really emphasizes that reality is not a rigid sculpture. It is plastic. It is mental.
It can be shaped.
It can. When you successfully achieve that coherence and you start shifting your internal state, even if nothing on the outside has budged yet, the universe begins to respond. Unexpected paths appear. Synchronous events happen. Situations that no longer match your frequency just kind of collapse or move out of your way.
The plasticity of reality, though, that immediately brings up the manipulation threat. If reality is mental and responsive, what happens when external forces, media, advertising, persuasive systems start manipulating our emotional broadcast without our consent?
You lose your sovereignty over your reality. That's the danger. The collective field, or, manipulative individuals, can install ideas, emotions, or desires that were never authentically yours in the first place.
And your reality still shapes itself around those frequencies.
It does.
Mhm.
But now you're co-creating a life based on someone else's programming. You're chasing goals or feeling things that don't reflect your inner truth at all.
So protecting your inner signal becomes the ultimate act of self-governance.
It's everything.
Okay, so why is the universe so rigid in this mirroring process? Why can't we just wish for something and get it?
Because the universe operates on invisible, non-negotiable codes and laws. And these are not man-made ethical rules. They are immutable laws that govern everything, from planets in orbit to the interaction of energy fields.
Like gravity, we talked about this before. You can ignore gravity, but it's still going to be there affecting your life.
Exactly. These laws are always active. And this is why so many people feel stuck. They are, in a sense, breaking laws without knowing it.
What do you mean by that?
Think of the law of planting and harvesting. If you consistently plant the seeds of anxiety and doubt and scarcity, you cannot logically expect to harvest the fruits of abundance and confidence.
You reap what you sow energetically.
Precisely. The universe is exact. It's not cruel. It responds to coherence.
Coherence. A perfect match.
A perfect match between your internal frequency and your desired external outcome. Trying to receive something you never emitted is a violation of that natural law. It just can't happen.
That really clarifies the entire system. So, to summarize this whole deep dive, to talk to the universe, you have to speak its language, which is frequency. Words alone are not enough.
It's your embodied state, your consistent energy, that carries the true message.
Right.
And that leads us to the final and maybe most important step in this framework: surrender.
Which sounds so paradoxical. You're trying to be a conscious co-creator and now you have to surrender.
I know it does. But true surrender is actually a very high form of alignment.
Because it sounds a lot like giving up, like admitting defeat.
It is the absolute opposite of giving up. Surrender means trusting that the universe is part of you, that it's working with you. It means releasing that anxious need to control the how and the when your desire shows up.
The
details. When you achieve true coherence, when your frequency is finally aligned, you step back. You allow for what the sources call divine timing to bring the outcome to you in the most elegant, unexpected way possible.
It's like letting go of the steering wheel because you know you've already plugged the coordinates into the GPS.
That's a perfect way to put it.
That brings us to a really compelling final thought for you, the listener. We've seen from the sources that before matter, there is mind. And before any limitation appears in your external world, there is a belief inside you that corresponds to it.
A belief held as truth.
So, if reality is truly mental and it's shaped by this constant emotional repetition, take a moment to look inward. What limiting belief, one that you currently hold as absolute truth, could be silently shaping your current situation?
What pattern are you ready to remember, and what are you ready to reverse?
We'll leave you with that challenge. Until next time.